Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. In this session, I would talk about the movement towards Middle English and the role that Norman conquest played in that. What I expect is that by the end of this session, you would be able to understand what was the nature of Norman conquest, how did it happen, and what influence did it have on the English language, resultantly shaping and forming Middle English language. Well, for you it is important to understand the terms Norsemen and Normans. I would say that during the later part of the Old English period, there were two different types of people or two different groups of non-English people who invaded this country. Both of these groups or both of these types of invaders were Scandinavians in origin. Old Norse, as it is shown on the slide with O-N capital within the parenthesis, and Old French people for which within parenthesis OF is given. These were the two types of people, the Norse people and the French people, people with French origin. These both groups had a very, very strong influence on the English language of the coming days. When we talk of the Norman conquest, it happened in 1600. This event played a very, very important role in the development of English language. Had it not happened, probably the course of English language would have been different. We need to seriously think about and ponder about what the language would have been like if William the Conqueror had not succeeded in making his claims successful. Of course, it would have pursued a much same course as other Germanic languages, thus retaining all those inflections. I hope you know that Old English language had a lot of inflections that were the results of impact of other languages and the Germanic languages on Old English during the course of time. However, while moving towards Middle English, it was due to the Norman conquest. These inflections were dropped on the way, and English took a form and shape through the Middle English period that finally led towards the current English that we have today. If we talk of the word stock of Middle English, my dear students, I would say, had it not been so that the Norman conquest would have happened, only the characteristic methods of word formation from within the language would have taken place, and words would not have been incorporated from other languages like French and Latin and Greek with that freedom as it happened actually during the period of Middle English. In that case, it would have also lacked the enormous number of French words that we find in modern English today, and thus the shape and form of language would have been of a romance of Germanic language. My dear students, Norman conquest not only influenced the course of history of this land, not only had impact in terms of social, geographical, political, economic, and other aspects of life, but also it affected the language very, very strongly, because it was through this impact and this influence that was created through the presence of the new conquerors that the language was completely changed and it was given a new shape.